From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Friday, January the 25th, 2019. Some 10,000 Palestinians took part in violent riots at the Gaza border fence today, hurling stones and stun grenades at IDF soldiers who responded with riot control measures, including, reportedly when necessary, live fire. The Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry said one Palestinian was killed, 22 injured. Meanwhile, funds from Qatar that were released to Gaza by Israel and then refused by terror group Hamas will make their way to Palestinians in need. The money, about $15 million, will now be diverted to humanitarian projects in Gaza through the United Nations. Israel's foreign ministry summoned Ireland's ambassador to Israel after the Irish Parliament advanced legislation yesterday that would criminalize the import or sale of Israeli goods from over the Green Line, meaning goods that originate in the West Bank, East Jerusalem, or the Golan Heights. The foreign ministry said Ambassador Alison Kelly was given an angry rebuke, calling the legislation hypocritical and anti-Semitic. The foreign ministry said it would be better for Ireland to deal with dark dictatorships and terror groups instead of Israel, the only democracy in the Middle East. The American Jewish Committee signed a memorandum of understanding with the U.S. Conference of Mayors in Washington, D.C. yesterday, with the goal of further enhancing U.S.-Israel ties at the municipal level. The MOU includes an annual delegation to Israel. AJC CEO David Harris said mayors are often on the front lines in seeking pragmatic solutions to a range of challenges. He said these visits to Israel will be designed for mayors to meet their counterparts in Israel, who are often engaged in the same kind of problem solving, often with innovative and cost-efficient answers. The 19th annual Obermeyer German Jewish History Awards were presented this week in the Berlin Senate. Among the honorees, 82-year-old Hilde Schramm, who is the daughter of Hitler's war production minister and chief architect, Albert Speer. Schramm was recognized for her humanitarian work, including creating the Return Foundation, which funds Jewish women's artistic projects in Germany. Schramm began the organization with money she received from selling several pieces of art collected by her father. She suspected the art was stolen from Jewish families and searched but did not find any owners. The Obermeyer Award recognizes non-Jewish Germans who have helped preserve local Jewish history and reconnect Jews with roots in Germany. The lower house of the Czech parliament adopted a resolution today that recognizes the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance's definition of anti-Semitism, which includes hatred and discrimination against Jews, Holocaust denial, and anti-Semitism as it relates to Israel. The resolution was adopted during a special session ahead of International Holocaust Remembrance Day this Sunday. And the Jewish Federations of North America announced a federally funded program providing critical support to Holocaust survivors just ahead of the Day of Remembrance. $4.6 million in federal funds will be distributed from JFNA's Center for Advancing Holocaust Survivor Care to 43 direct service agencies and 6 Jewish federations. Matching grants will bring the total to $6.7 million. According to the JFNA, about 1 in 3 of the more than 100,000 Holocaust survivors living in the United States lives in poverty. JFNA Chair Mark Wilf said, "Together we are using this window of opportunity to make sure more survivors are connected to their communities and have the social support necessary to age in place." And ceremonies and special events to remember those murdered during the Holocaust are taking place around the world. Holocaust survivors shared their stories at a special ceremony this morning at the U.S. Holocaust Museum in our nation's capital. At NATO headquarters in Brussels yesterday and today, tens of thousands of photographs were shown on a large screen from the World Jewish Congress's We Remember campaign, with a live stream from the grounds of the Auschwitz-Birkenau death camp. WJC CEO and Executive Vice President Robert Singer said it is all the more significant that we have brought this initiative to the headquarters of NATO, the very organization that was created to unify nations in the wake of the horrors of the Holocaust and World War II. The United Nations designated that International Holocaust Remembrance Day be held on January the 27th, the anniversary of the 1945 liberation of Auschwitz-Birkenau. And be sure to look for special programming for International Holocaust Remembrance Day throughout the day Sunday here on JBS. You can find more information, as always, on our website, jbstv.org. For tonight, Friday, January the 25th, live Shabbat services are coming up at 6 o'clock from New York City's Central Synagogue, followed by music from Voice of the Turtle. At 8, Rabbi Capers Funyeh speaks at the 92nd Street Y. At 9, it's the film Blue and Gray, the story of the 10,000 Jewish soldiers who fought in the Civil War. At 10, the filmmakers of The Ruins of Lifta sit with Judy Myers on New Jewish Cinema. At 10:30, it's Israeli folk rocker and son of the late Naomi Shemer, Ariel Horovitz, on Muzika. And coming up right after this newscast tonight, a look at this week's Torah portion. And that's the JBS News Update for Friday, January the 25th, 2019. I'm Teisha Bader. Shabbat Shalom.